I thought of a question that I wanted to ask Kevin, and
Zoom out a little bit. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll zoom out a little bit. Are we too close?
I was thinking of pictures. Pictures you can zoom out.
Oh, this is as far
As far as we can go. I'll just lean.
Well, you know what? If you push this up, then it'll go back on it. Oh, okay. I thought of a question that I want to, well, it's a two-part question, okay, and it's about food. So my first question to you is, it's kind of the same question, but it's different. I have different answers for me. Okay, so is there a food that you will eat at home, that you love to eat at home, but you never order out because you don't trust it?
Oh, I don't trust it?
Yeah.
No, probably not. Not from a trust issue. Like, I don't trust that they're going to cook it right or cook it enough or things like that. No, not really.
Or that it's going to be as good as yours. It's going to be, that it's going to be as good as yours.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. The only thing I really don't order out is things like spaghetti and stuff. But that's just because I don't want spaghetti. I'm going to eat something else that's more filling, you know?
Right.
I'll pretty much order anything. Fish, chicken, or burgers or whatever. So I can't think of anything.
Well, something that I never order out, and it's not because...
Sorry if it's bouncing a little bit. We're on a stand.
It's not because it's because I don't trust it. So some foods, like there's a guy on the radio I listen to, he doesn't like casseroles in general, and he doesn't like pie in general because he doesn't trust pie. He doesn't trust what's going to be in the pie, or I guess in the casserole.
Right.
Which makes sense to me because something that I would never order out is soup.
Soup is not something I don't think I've ever intentionally ordered soup unless it's been for a video.
Yeah, because
I think I've done like a broccoli cheddar soup once.
See, I was thinking you had ordered some kind of a tortilla soup years and years ago.
Too. But not on normal everyday use. I would never do that.
Okay.
Maybe it came with the meal or something. It was part of the meal.
Right. So there's a guy that we watch.
But I agree with you. Soup's not something I ever order. Not because I don't trust it, but it's because I know they have other things.
There's a guy we watch on YouTube, and his favorite thing is soup.
Yeah, it seems like he eats soup all the time.
And he eats soup all the time, and wherever he goes, he is always looking at the soup and ordering the soup. I would never, ever, ever order the soup at a restaurant.
Not a soup person.
I've had some people tell me that they were surprised, like, when we've ordered like salads from restaurants, they're like, I would never get a salad from a restaurant.
They don't trust them being clean.
They don't trust the salad to be clean. Yes, they don't trust.
I can only tell you the restaurant I used to work at 100 years ago. They would chop up the salad and wash it before it was ever served. After it was chopped, it was all washed. So.
I think they worry about it being clean, but I think they also worry about it maybe the dressing sitting out. I was thinking they didn't say, but I assumed that maybe they were worried.
I bet you 100% it's being clean.
They're worried about it being clean
because all the listeria problems are almost always with like leafy vegetables that aren't clean. Almost every time.
So like I think that's what took Chi-Chi's down. I think
they had that. What was it, green onions?
I think it was a green onion thing, and I think that's what took Chi-Chi's out completely. Chi-Chi's was a Mexican restaurant if you're overseas or something like that, or you're just too young to know. I loved it.
It used to be a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I loved it. Back in the 80s, we would go...
No, they were the Mexican restaurant in the 80s.
Yes. When I was about, 10, 11, 12 years old, we would go like every Friday or Saturday night.
We'd go probably once a month.
Absolutely loved it. Wouldn't it be neat if you could go, and I've thought this about me and you before, because Chi-Chi's, so like, I was born in Lexington, but I'm going way off topic, but I was born in Lexington, but then we moved to Winchester. Kevin lived in Lexington his whole life. Wouldn't it be cool if we could have like a camera and go back to our childhoods to see if like we were in there at the same time. Wouldn't that be neat?
That'd be interesting.
Or like places that we visited when we were kids, to be like, oh my gosh, we were both in that Hills store at the same time, or we were both in the mall at the same time. That would be so cool to be like, oh my gosh, we were both eating at Chi-Chi's that same night and we didn't know each other back then. I've often thought that. I thought that would be the coolest thing. But that's what took Chi-Chi's down, I think, is the green onion. And like a lot of times, no offense against Chipotle, because I like Chipotle a lot, but a lot of times when when you hear like things about a restaurant, it's about Chipotle because they have fresh food. Is that actually it?
Yes, it says stop. They're doing utility work.
Now he's saying slow.
They're doing tree work.
I'm going slow. Thank you. He doesn't want to wave back. Okay. All right. I'll see how you are. Yeah, they're doing tree work, so we're having to go slow. And these boys look bored.
I'd hate to be the sign person, the sign keeper.
I wouldn't want. I think it would be dangerous to do any road work at all.
Yeah.
I just think it's very dangerous. Certain jobs, that's a dangerous job. So, soup, back to the soup. Soup is something I would never personally order out. But, okay, I've talked to Kevin and Ashley about this before, but I've never talked about it before on camera, because I would like to know if you all are the same way and maybe you just don't realize it. I have an aversion to ordering something out, and I just didn't realize it about myself until more recently. It's like a rule with myself that I didn't realize I had. But I will not order macaroni and cheese out at restaurants. I won't do it.
I usually don't either.
And it's like a general rule for me across the board, no matter where we go, no matter how nice the restaurant is or whatever, I will not order macaroni and cheese. And like if it's a buffet or whatever, I'm not getting macaroni and cheese off that buffet. I'm not going to have it. I think what made me think about it is almost everywhere we go with Ashley, she does get macaroni and cheese.
She always gets macaroni and cheese.
Yes, she always gets it. So she'll get like mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese.
But she also doesn't like green beans and stuff like that.
She likes corn.
There's other options on the menu besides macaroni and cheese that I'd rather have most places.
Yes.
So I would rather eat the green beans or the corn or something like that. If they didn't have a baked potato or fries or something like that,
right,
I would rather have the vegetable than a macaroni and cheese.
Right.
She orders mashed potatoes. And
yes,
mashed potatoes is something I would never intentionally order unless I'm going to KFC.
You don't get mashed potatoes at Cracker Barrel?
I might get them at Cracker Barrel.
No, because you like those hash browns.
I like the hash browns better, but I think I've gotten them. I've gotten mashed potatoes before. It's just not something I regularly order.
Why is that? Because you don't like them as
sometimes
much?
They get cold really fast. Is one of the reasons.
Okay.
And they don't taste good cold.
That's one of my things with macaroni and cheese. I am very, very particular about temperatures. Both of us are, I think. And when it's supposed to be hot, we want it hot. And macaroni and cheese is something that I like hot. And once it starts getting cold, it gets pasty.
Yeah.
And you don't know you don't know how well or how, you don't know if they overcook their macaroni. It's a fine line. Or their noodles, whatever noodles they're using. And then the cheese, you don't know what kind of cheese they're using. And some people want to go really bougie with the cheese or highfalutin with the, or they want to use 10 different cheeses. And it's it's real, macaroni and cheese is real simple, and you don't have to do all that
sauce and all that.
Yeah, the sauce. Yeah, you don't have to do all that special stuff to have good macaroni and cheese. And I like our macaroni and cheese, our baked macaroni and cheese at home so much that it's I don't even want anybody else's macaroni and cheese. So you never order macaroni and cheese either?
Not usually. I mean, I have, but not. It's not. If there's no other alternative, then I'll usually order. I might order that.
Right.
But that's the only time. That and mashed potatoes.
I'm not ordering mashed potatoes because I don't like mashed potatoes.
Yeah. The only time I order mashed potatoes and I really enjoy them is KFC. Although I've gotten them at like Cheddar's. I used to get them at Cheddar's because I would get the country fried steak.
And you dip it?
And you get the white gravy on it.
Uh-huh.
That would be good.
You dip your steak
and Cracker Barrel, I think I've gotten mashed potatoes there before too, but not very often.
But it's been a long time since I have not eaten at Cracker Barrel in years. But now you...
I've done it for my lunchtime review a few times.
Yeah.
It's still good food.
Yeah, it's I tell you who likes eating there is our son and his family. There's 5 of them, and they love going there. And I think it's because as much as we complain that the gift shop is really, really expensive, I think the food, it's not cheap food, but it's affordable food.
Right.
It's a nice out. It's going out to eat without being really, really expensive, and I think they give you a good amount of food too.
And the gift shop's something they can look at while they're waiting in line to be seated.
Yes, exactly. It gives the kids something to do. Didn't Bob Evans? They used to have a little
very teeny tiny little shelf. I mean, it wasn't much of anything.
Okay, because they used to sell stuff there too.
Yeah, it was just mixes and stuff, but it was behind the host stand. It wasn't anything.
Right. It's kind of like Shoney's.
Yeah, it was just a little spot.
We used to have a Shoney's. I know. We used to have a Shoney's in Winchester for a little while. Yeah. And I remember we had the bear. You could buy a little Shoney's bear, and it seemed like it had a little hat and a t-shirt, and we had one of those at one time. So did you all have Shoney's in Lexington?
Yeah. I think there was at least one, if not 2.
Shoney's in Winchester. Do you even know where it was at?
It was up there right behind where Speedway is on the corner of Lexington.
You know that? How do you know that?
It was there when we first got married.
It was? Oh, I didn't realize it was still there. Well, the reason I asked about the food is because I wondered, I realized that about myself, that I just will refuse to order soup or macaroni and cheese. And so Kevin is saying macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes.
And soup. I don't order soup either.
I tell you what did it for me. I think what has a lot about the soup in particular, you know how they did that Gordon Ramsay show where he would go, I forget the name of it.
Not Hell's Kitchen, but Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares. He
would go into these mom and pop places.
It ruined it for me. It really...
Oh, if you really thought about it, you wouldn't go anywhere.
I know. He kind of ruined... a lot of mom and pop places for me, and he kind of ruined that show. Kind of ruined soup for me, because all I can picture when I see soup on the menu is him going back in these closets and finding buckets, like slop bucket, looking full of like mush and water and like nasty. It looked like phlegm water in the meat floating, the chicken floating in this phlegm water, and it's just kind of...
Hope you're not watching this at lunch or breakfast or dinner.
It's kind of ruined soup for me. It's ruined certain things for me out to where I'm thinking, some places that I go, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to have to deep fry this, so I'm going to get this, because at least if they deep fry it, it's going to get all the bacteria off of it.
Hope so.
And I literally think of that when I go to places. It's like, well, if it had anything, it's going to get singed off of it in the grease.
It makes you wonder how those restaurants ever pass the food inspection.
Well, what I don't think is fair, I don't think this is fair at all. At least I know about it's this way in Kentucky. I don't know if it's this way everywhere, but I know that they give them warning.
We never had warning. We never had warning. Any restaurant I've ever been in, we never knew.
I was told that the health department will give them, we're coming. We're doing our inspections, and
it must be something different then.
We'll give them warning.
It must have changed.
And well, it might not be that way. Maybe it's changed since I heard about it. But I know that I heard that they will give them warning, and it's like, well, that's not fair at all. And then,
back when I worked at restaurants, we never knew.
And then of course, they have a chance to go back and change the number. So, like, if you get a bad number on your inspection, because
you get re-inspected,
then you'll get re-inspected, and you can have a chance to get that number changed.
Yeah. The only thing we knew, they did have a regular schedule. So, I mean, we didn't know the exact day and time.
Okay, see, that's...
But they did have a regular schedule.
There
So
you
knew kind of within that week they were probably going to be there. So you didn't know the exact
Maybe
day.
that's what the person was trying to tell me, is that they knew when they were coming.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that's right. Then it's kind of like a teacher with a test. If you're a teacher and you're giving out that same test every single year, then you need to change up your test, because the person from the year before can hand it to the people the next year, and they can cheat on the test. Same thing. If you know when the inspector's coming, then how is that right?
Well, any good manager or a good restaurant is going to maintain that standard at all times.
Yes.
I mean, every place I ever worked, we always kept it like really nice and clean. The worst things they would have is like find a cup in a spot that somebody's been drinking something and set it down and just forgot about it, or something stupid. Which, I guess technically it could be a health hazard if something fell over or something, but some of that stuff's silly. So that was the only time that we've ever gotten like knocked. We always kept it pretty high standard anyway. So
I tell you who I would like to have.
Depends on where you work too.
I'd like to have, if I worked at if I was going to eat at a fast food place, and I would completely trust that, what's it called? Los Polos in Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, he was a clean freak.
He was and in The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever watched the show The Bear, he is very, very meticulous. They showed him like getting in between the creases.
Yeah, with a toothpick.
With a toothpick between like the stove, the little creases and stuff like that. That's the kind of restaurant that I want to go to, is where they're being that meticulous about things. So anyway, I brought that up because I wanted to know if anyone else was funny about stuff like that. And not because you don't like the food. So it's one thing if you don't like it, like me not liking mashed potatoes. I'm talking about things that you just genuinely like. I know I can make that better at home, so I'm not even going to give you the chance to disappoint me. That kind of thing. Ooh, 2 possums got hit. Did you see that?
No.
So the clip you just saw was actually from last week, but last week's video was like 45 minutes, and I didn't want it to go over an hour, so I thought, Kevin and I were just in the car. It's not like it's time sensitive, us talking about food, so I thought I'll save that little clip and we'll put it in next week's video, and we will continue on with some questions that you all left for us. So if you have any questions for us, you can just leave them in the comments below, and we will eventually get to your questions. So some of these questions were left to us like before we went to New York, and then the New York videos went on for several weeks, which were very fun. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching those. But so some of you asked these questions a while back, and we're just getting to them. So,
and sorry for the bouncy video.
Yeah, it's a little bouncy.
If I knew Tammy's going to do these in the car, I would bring my other camera, which wouldn't bounce. But she doesn't tell me anything.
No, I surprise him when we get
surprised
in the car, so you might...
I would plan better.
You might bounce a little bit.
You're going to bounce a lot. All right, so one of the questions is, what is your most overrated food in your opinion, and what is the most underrated food?
Oh, gosh. Do you have something in mind?
No. I mean, food. I'm thinking of food. Like, is that type of food, or are they talking about a particular restaurant, or a place, or...
Okay. Well, I can tell you something.
Because I can think of the most overrated food. Just
okay,
tell me. Type of food, lobster.
Oh.
I don't know what people love about that slimy, nasty lobster. If you love lobster, good for you, because I can't eat it.
When Kevin got it, we've talked about this before. Kevin got it when we went on our cruise. We had a Royal Caribbean cruise. We did videos on it. If you missed those, we did the videos. So Kevin ordered this lobster, and it looked like a giant cockroach on the plate. And I thought, oh no, I'm not.
And what's funny is they had to actually change their policy because they used to have all you could eat lobster tail. They had to change their policy where you only got one, and then you buy from now on other ones. So there was enough people that wanted them that got mad because they did it, and they literally bought multiples with money.
And here
I can't imagine. And I'm sitting here going, I don't even want to eat this.
I've said before, just because
oysters are the same way for me.
Just because people are wealthy and just because they have money doesn't mean they have good taste.
But evidently lobster, some people just absolutely love it. I just don't see it.
It just doesn't mean they have good taste, and that goes for clothes. That goes for furniture. That goes for everything. It just doesn't mean, just because you can buy it, it doesn't mean it's good. Or doesn't mean you should. But, okay, so that's your most overrated.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about food type.
Okay, my answer was going to be Twinkies. And the reason I'm saying that is because you get people in other countries, and they think it's such a big deal to get a Twinkie or to try a Twinkie. And this is an American thing to try a Twinkie. Well, guess what? No, it's like the lowest level of snack cake there is.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, we've had worse, but,
Yes, we've had worse, but I do think it's a big name that's overrated.
There's really not much to them.
Yeah.
What about underrated? Like things that should be more popular and they're not. That's hard for me. I don't know.
Okay, so you wouldn't say like Ritz cracker because you love.
But say
Ritz
everybody
cracker.
loves. Most people. Love
I don't
Ritz.
know anybody that does. But you know what? Okay, this is so interesting. I'm glad we're talking about this. Kevin has always been like just mystified with me that I would rather eat with some food. I'm very particular about the kind of cracker I eat with some food. So for me, with a lot of foods, I would rather have a saltine cracker than have a Ritz. So if I'm eating chili, normally I don't eat crackers with chili, but I do like oyster crackers with chili. But I like a plain saltine cracker. If I'm going to make homemade vegetable soup, I like a saltine cracker. There are very specific foods that I like better with a Ritz, and Kevin doesn't understand that because Kevin likes everything on a Ritz.
Everything.
Kevin would not use a saltine with anything. He would never, like, they would be banned from the house.
If that's the only thing I had, I just wouldn't eat a cracker.
Okay,
I mean,
so
literally.
I'm talking to Dad the other day, and my dad says I had talked to him about this dip that we bought. And I said, you have to buy this dip. This is the best dip. And I said, you need to get you some Ritz crackers and have you this dip on the Ritz cracker. And so he did that. And he said, I like the dip. He said, but I like it better on a saltine. That's what he said. And I thought, Kevin will not. And I said, you know what? I said, normally I like a saltine better with a lot of things. And I said, if we had any saltine crackers, I would have tried it on a saltine cracker.
I wonder what the point
But we
was.
didn't have any.
Because the saltine cracker is very bland and plain, and it's got a little bit of salt to it, but it's very plain, and it's harder. So I don't know. I just don't know why you would want it. I knew that van wanted over.
Yeah, they did. They wanted over. They were in the wrong lane.
At least that scooter didn't get behind you. Or in front of you.
In front of you, yeah. So I think it's
anyway,
funny.
that is funny.
He's the same way as me.
Yeah,
So
you're both weird.
So he would rather. We need to ask Andrew that question, because usually Andrew has a lot of the same taste that I do. I feel like we need to ask Andrew, our son, how he feels about crackers. We'll have to ask him that.
Right.
So you.
I don't know, underrated. I don't know. I mean, I have no clue. Because everything I like, most people do enjoy, like ice cream and chocolate.
I was gonna say,
it's all It's all basically.
If you mean
stuff.
a product that a lot of people don't know about that's really, really good, then I was going to say like those Nightingale ice cream sandwiches.
That's just because they're not out there enough.
It's because
that's a company problem.
That's a company problem because they are not sold. They are only sold in our area, and as far as I know, at the fresh market.
They don't carry them all.
And they don't carry all the flavors. They never have specialty flavors. They never had limited time. Like, we could be the spokespeople for Nightingale ice cream sandwiches because they're so good. But yeah, I think they're underrated because people just they're not available. Yeah. But I don't know of anything else.
I could say that, or you could also say that something's underrated if we really like them, but other people don't like them. You know, kind of like the Twinkies things. If you got everybody saying that they like them, they don't like them, and we do like them, we could say that's underrated. But I don't know.
What's funny is we have people that watch our channel that don't like anything we like, that don't like one thing that we like. Like, we think, like we love those Nightingale ice cream sandwiches. They would be like, some people would be like, oh, I hate those, or I would never eat those. And it's like, so there are definitely people out there who are going to think that a lot of the opposite of us.
I just can't think of anything right off my head. Okay, so which grade was your favorite and why?
Which grade was my favorite and why? I'm going to say 7th. And why? Because because it was middle school.
Yeah. That was the beginning of middle school too, wasn't it? For us, that was the beginning of middle school.
Yeah, and you know what?
Because it used to be 7th, 8th, and 9th was middle school.
I'm actually going to say 8th. I'm going to get more specific, and I'm going to say 8th grade. The way that they did, and I don't think they do it this way anymore in our county, is when I was in school, you went from kindergarten to 6th grade in elementary school.
And 7th, 8th, and 9th was middle.
And then, no.
Oh.
Okay, no. Not for me.
Oh, okay.
So our middle school was only 7th and 8th.
Oh, really?
Yes. It was only Belmont and Concrete was only 7th and 8th grade.
Interesting.
The high school was 9th through 12th. So my favorite grade was the 8th because we were in this building, only 7th and 8th grade were in this building where the public library used to sit. Right. They tore it down, and it was a beautiful, beautiful building. Anyway, I hate that. Everybody I know of hates that they tore down Belmont. But anyway, only 7th and 8th grade were in that building. And so when I was in 8th grade, we were the big dogs. We were, we weren't the new kids in the school. We weren't the 7th graders. We were the big dogs, and we knew what was going on. And those 2 years, though, were my best in school anyway. Were like junior high school was my favorite time of school. When I got to high school, I did not like high school at all. I liked elementary okay, and I loved junior high, but I hated high school. And high school was a waste of time, I thought. A complete waste of time.
Well, mine's similar. Mine is junior high was what we called, but mine went from 7th to 9th grade. So it was 3 years. And then you went to high school from 10th, 11th, and 12th. So mine was 9th grade. The last year I was in junior high.
Okay, so the same thing. Okay.
It wasn't because we were top dogs, although that helped a little bit because we knew what was going on and stuff. But it was the year before going into high school, which then you were a small fish.
Oh yeah, in a big old
school of bullies.
Yeah.
So adult bullies at that point. Once you're up to 15, 16, 17, you're pretty much adult bullies.
And that's when kids turn into a-holes.
Yes, they turn into complete jerks, and you split off the people that are nice.
That's why I hated high school, is because that's the a-hole years.
And the jerks know the nice people.
And the girls, the snooty girls who thought they were something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the friends I had in junior high, in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, had the same friends through elementary and 7th, 8th, and 9th because we all went to the same area of school. Once I got to high school, none of those friends talked to me anymore. literally. A couple of them did still, but not a lot. Most of them turned in. They were from the wealthier neighborhoods,
Right.
so they turned into the snooty, I'm wealthy and better than you kind of attitude.
Right.
So, because we were just middle class family, you know.
Well, they were probably, to be fair, their activities outside of school were probably
completely different than
not
what I
like
was
your
doing.
activities.
Because they were all playing golf. And
that's right. When you have
football and stuff like that.
you have money, when you're born into money, your activities are going to be different than what everybody else can do. There's things that I still have never done before because I wasn't exposed to those things.
That's what I was going to say. Your parents are going to push you into other things. My parents never pushed me into activities in school and things like that, which a lot of my friends were pushed into extracurricular activities at school that I just wasn't interested in. So anyway, I would say 9th grade too. Plus I went through a really awkward year at 8th grade where I was just like, it was just that transition year, you know. I got contacts, you know. I started dressing better in 9th grade. I was, you know, actually I got contacts a long before that, but that's when I really made it. I was wearing like dress shirts and ties to school in 9th grade.
Really?
Yeah, we were dressing up. Me and a couple,
you weren't beat up for that?
No, me and a couple of friends were the preppy kind of kids.
Okay.
The bad thing is I didn't have the money to back it. They did when we went to high school.
Right.
So anyway, that's why.
Let me ask you an additional question. We were talking about activities. If you had the money or whatever, is there an activity that they did in high school that you actually would have wanted to do that you couldn't?
I was in the art club, which I absolutely loved the art club. So that was my.
What was the art club? Is that not just an art class?
No, we did stuff outside of school. Like we painted a mural in the hallway. We did.
I don't remember.
We did all kinds of different stuff around the school about drawing and painting and all kinds of stuff.
I don't remember there ever being a club. Now.
Well, it could have been the person that was in charge of it. She was fairly new.
Oh, okay.
So she was, you know, when you're a new teacher, you're all gung-ho to change the world. And then after a couple of years, you're beat down so much, you're like, I just want to survive.
Right.
So she was still in the I'm going to save the world kind of attitude. So, yeah, she had an art club that we met, I don't know, once every two weeks. And I do remember painting murals, a couple of murals in the gym, like a huge one in the gym. Yeah, something like that. Everybody just got together and explored different kinds of art, you know, like pottery and watercolor and stuff like that. It's cool.
I think adults that teach high school are a special.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
It's a special group of people because I would not want to be around all that all day.
Well, the nice high school kids, you wouldn't mind. It's the jerks.
It's the jerks.
Yeah, who wants to be around that?
It's the jerks, yeah, for sure.
So did you have any activity you would have done? Or that you did?
I was in chorus. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And ooh, that's a nice car. And I know you hate hearing me sing, but at one time they didn't care. They didn't care how I sang in chorus. I was in chorus, but I cannot think of anything else that I would have wanted to participate in. You know, you had orchestra, you had band.
I was never in those because you have to have talent to be in those.
Exactly.
And I didn't have that
cheerleading.
I didn't have that kind
and
of
then
talent.
you have the sports people.
Yeah.
You have the basketball and the football and yeah.
See, our high school had golf and tennis. That just tells you kind of what money level you're talking about.
I don't remember them ever having either one of those.
Yeah, we had tennis courts at our high school. So
you had tennis courts at your high school?
They had tennis courts.
Really? Do you think they still do now?
I don't know if they do or not.
Tennis. Huh.
Yeah. When gym class, we'd go out there and play freaking tennis.
And just think, I bet at some schools,
I'm not good at tennis. So.
At some schools they probably have pools, like a swimming pool.
Some do. We weren't that rich, but we did.
No.
We didn't have tennis courts.
I wonder, like in places where it's warm, like Florida,
maybe.
Do you think they have pools at their school? I don't have a clue. Okay.
Why does Tammy love the UK so much?
How would you answer that question for me?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Why does anybody love any place? why does anybody love to go to Hawaii? Why does anybody love their own state? I mean, I don't know. It's just you like the. I know you like the pageantry of the royalty. You like that.
I do.
She likes the history of the buildings.
I do.
And it's been around for a long time.
I do.
That's the only thing I can think of. The food's good.
The food's so good.
Pub food, you can't beat pub food in London, in England.
And that is a total misconception. I don't know who is spreading lies about British food, but for years, I heard people say, "Oh, British food, it's so plain and not seasoned, and it's so just bland."
Well, some things are.
Well, I don't know who. I mean, that's just a complete and utter lie.
Some things are like that, like mushy peas. I would never eat mushy peas.
No, I wouldn't eat mushy peas.
And they don't taste great.
And we don't care for rhubarb.
No, we don't like rhubarb.
Like the rhubarb stuff is.
Some flavors they have are very plain. I'm thinking really more Japan, China, and Korea. Some of their foods are more plain than England are.
I think French food's plain.
French food can be very plain.
The French desserts, I think, are very, because we like super, super sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think some of the French, you're looking at this pastry and you're thinking,
oh, this is going to be
this is going to be sweet, and it's going to be thick and awesome. And you take a bite in that and you're like, where's the sweetness in this
I think
thing?
the same thing about cannolis.
Yes, Italian, the cannolis. It's like, why are people eating these? I'd rather have a Krispy Kreme.
So what's your reason for the UK?
I do.
Did I say a lot of it?
You said a lot of it. Yes, the pageantry is a big deal. The ceremonies, the respect, the just. Everything that they do, there just seems to be a lot of pageantry, a lot of pomp behind it all, and a lot of pride with the clothes, the uniforms, and the history. I love the history. They have such a rich history, and that's not even talking about the accent. I love it. I love everything about it. I love the grocery stores. I love the buildings, the architecture. I think it's wonderful. So,
what was your favorite gift to give and to receive?
My favorite gift to give and to receive. I like to receive money. That sounds really shallow.
Well, it's so you can put it on whatever you want.
It's 100% true. I like to receive money because I know what we need, and I know
it's neat to get the surprise gift of something you could actually use. That's different. Not the things that were, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I really don't have a use for it. But because we've gotten things like that before, it's like, it's neat. But
I've gotten to the age where I don't want a bunch of little tchotchkes sitting around the house.
Yeah, decorations are not our thing now. We're very minimalistic.
Yes, so I would rather have one big bold thing.
Right.
Than have a bunch of
like
little
a centerpiece.
things. Yeah, so if I'm going to buy a decoration, it's going to be like one big bold thing rather than 4 tiny ones sitting on a table.
Like it could be a rabbit hanging on the wall with glasses and a monocle, or a monocle and a mustache.
A hair, yes. Yeah. Nigel.
Yeah.
Yes, so I like things like that. So money, I like, I don't care if it sounds bad or not, it's my answer.
No, that's true.
I like to receive money, and I don't mind giving money. I like giving money. I like giving gift cards. I think a gift card's a good gift, but I'd rather give and receive money.
Let them know what they want, especially for adults.
I do remember giving Andrew one year.
You cannot get over.
I know, I see that. I do remember giving Andrew one year.
You might be able to get
a TV. And
a big one.
He started crying.
He was so surprised
because he was surprised. He did not know we were going to be giving him that TV for Christmas, and so it's nice when you can surprise somebody like that. And it was something that he genuinely needed. Now, are they allowed to cross?
Yeah.
Well, he did.
Stop.
He stopped and he wasn't looking at me. So, Okay, what about you?
I like to give. It's not a specific gift. It's just I know they were probably looking when they asked me for a specific gift. Just to the grandkids. Anytime we give something to the grandkids and they get excited about it, it's
well,
their
that's
favorite.
Giving to a person.
I know, but I'm just saying that giving to the grandkids in general and they get excited about it.
If you had asked me
fun.
that same question, who do you want to give to? Then yes,
it said, what was your favorite gift to give?
That's a favorite gift, not
I know,
who,
that's what I'm saying. Anything to the grandkids that make
you're
them
saying
excited.
anything.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
anything they really love.
Okay, I got you.
And there's been all kinds of different stuff. Gavin's gotten really excited about a Lego set we've given him that he really wanted, or whatever,
I as far as a person, yes,
yeah.
I enjoy giving it.
Our youngest granddaughter, she still carries around a rabbit that we gave her for Christmas that was in a doll, and she still carries the rabbit around, which was not even.
That
gift,
wasn't the
really.
main gift.
The gift was the doll. This was just happened to come with the doll.
The rabbit came with it.
And she loves it. She still carries it.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy. As far as a single gift, I can't think of one single thing we've given that was like, wow. I can't think of anything.
And what do you like to receive yourself?
I'd rather have money, honestly. I'd rather not give me anything. But if they are going to give me something, I'd rather just give me a little bit of money. Give me a gift card to Steam so I can buy a game with it, or give me whatever. I'd rather have that than a gift.
Well, and the thing is you know what you need. Yeah. Other people don't know what you need.
That's what I'm saying. If you give me a gift card to Steam, which is a game
I'm wondering
site,
if that's a part of what.
If money to Steam would let me buy a game, which I love video games, so that just goes further to help me buy stuff.
Well, we've gone to a bunch of stores today. We've gone in a bunch of stores and we've seen some Halloween stuff, but we're out on a Saturday and it is so busy.
It's busy today.
It's very busy. Well, and in one place, didn't they tell you it's back to school? Or I heard somebody say that.
Yeah, it's back to school week. I mean, they've already started, but
in Home Goods,
yeah.
She was saying she said college dorms are opening.
Yeah.
She said the college dorms are opening or something like that. So you've got a lot of people like to go in Home Goods and places like that to get things different for their dorm rooms.
Cushions and
bedding and all. Yes, the decorations and all that. So, we really got lucky not having to deal with all that, because that I can't even imagine.
They didn't stay in dorm rooms.
I can't imagine how much people spend on that stuff. If you have like a child who wants to really decorate and stuff and not just take stuff from home, then it's going to cost you a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, it would.
But so I have seen some really cool things today, but haven't been able to film any of them.
Because it's been so busy.
Because it's been so busy, yeah. But Kevin did have one more question that you all asked on the piece of paper. I wrote it all down. And so he's going to ask that now, and then we'll be caught up.
It's a long one. So if you could time travel to only one day in the past to visit yourself, which day and why? It can be a certain event or moment you'd want to change or relive. Once midnight strikes, you're back here. Butterfly effect might happen if you pick something to change. So if you change something in the past, it may have an effect in the future.
Right.
So what would your day or event be to relive?
Do you have something in mind?
No, because I've always said, and I still firmly believe it.
You have to choose.
Okay,
you don't have a choice.
But I'm saying, as far as going back to change something or something like that, I wouldn't change anything because everything I've done led me to this, and I wouldn't want to change this. So
but
So they're saying you don't have to change them. They're just saying to relive.
There you go, to relive.
I'm just saying I'm not going to choose something like that.
Because Because you're afraid you'll accidentally change something?
Well, one of the things I would say is, like, one of my ex-girlfriends, like I had a lot, we broke up, and then I would tell myself, never get back with this crazy person. Don't get back with her.
Right.
Just stay away. Right. Let her do her own craziness, and you just stay away and do your own thing.
Right.
But like I said, if I did that, something might have happened to where I wouldn't be where I was when I met Tammy and stuff like that. So I wouldn't want to mess that up.
Right.
What would I want to relive? Some of the happiest moments was like when Ashley was born. Like that was a very emotional moment. When we got married, you would think that would be a big happy moment, but it really was just going to the courthouse, so that wasn't a big deal. But our first date was fun.
Our first date was fun, but getting married, honestly, was just
for us. It was just
making
a legal
it legal.
thing. Yeah.
It was just making it legal. It wasn't like
we didn't have this big
emotional.
event.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But when we met, I think that was cool.
Our first date was cool.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about
I'm thinking about events that I would want to witness again. I'm trying to think.
Okay. Now,
that's how I'm thinking.
Okay, you're not gonna like my answer.
I don't care what your answer is.
Well, I know, but
you answer whatever
I know,
you
but
want.
you judge.
It's your answer.
Okay, my answer is going to be a very sad time, and it's going to surprise you that I would want to go back to this time. I'm going to say the day my mom died.
Yeah.
And the reason I would want to go back is because I would want to change things, and I think by me changing them, the outcome would have been the same. She's going to die no matter what, right? She's going to die no matter what I say, do, whatever. But I would go back to that day, and I would like for it to happen differently than it happened.
Yeah.
Even though it was still destined to happen at that day, maybe it wouldn't have happened till the next day. I personally believe it probably wouldn't have happened that day if I had changed things. If I went back and changed things, I do not think she would have died on the day she died. And I don't know that I could have done anything because I do not have the power, power of attorney or whatever. I do not have that. My parents are married 42 years. And so that was my dad's decision, that she went to the hospital and all that stuff. If I could go back and change things, I would have spoken up and said that I would have rather her not gone to the hospital. I would have rather her stayed at home, and I would have rather her been at home because I do think she would have lived longer. Even a few hours. Not that, like I said, not that it makes any difference. If everybody's gonna die, right? Everybody's gonna die. I know this is morbid. Every single person watching this video is going to die, including us. But I just think it would have been more hours, and so that's something that I truly think you could go back and change.
I don't know if that would have made any difference.
And it would have made a difference to my mental...
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think...
the way I look at things.
I don't think it would have gone any longer.
You don't think she would have lived longer? I do. I absolutely do.
No, all she would have done is potentially have suffered more.
You think?
Yeah, because they gave her medicine to where she didn't.
Oh, shoot.
Somebody's broke down in the road.
Oh, please. Are these people going to let me over?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh.
We'll go anyway.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, somebody is broke down up here, and that's really bad to be broke down. That or he's pulled them over.
Yeah, but you wouldn't stop in the middle of the road if
no,
somebody's pulling you over.
They must be broke down.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
Unless you're stupid.
We just on a completely different subject because we don't want to end the video on death. We went to the mall, and we just went in the mall just to go in. Honestly, I wanted to go in FYE and see. Not that I was going to buy anything, but I wanted to see if they had. It's like it's empty. It's like there's nobody in the car because he's looking puzzled.
He must look puzzled.
He is. Like, there's nobody in this car. Like, the car has died, and we're in, there's 4 lanes of traffic here. It's like the car has died, and the person left the car and they've gone maybe to a gas station or something.
There's a gas station right next to them.
And they just left the car in the middle of this major road. Anyway, we went in FYE because I wanted to see if they had any Halloween stuff, and we ended up buying something for our grandson for Christmas. So the food in there is just absolutely astronomical. So like twice as much as it is everywhere. Yes. So like
the windows are so dark you can't even see in there.
So like a normal bag of like potato chips is going to be $2.
Yeah.
In there it's 10. So I mean, and I've said this every single time we go in there. I complain about it on a video. It's every time.
And some of the things they had we've seen at World Market.
Yep.
And we thought it was expensive at World Market. You go there and it's like, wow, it's even more expensive.
Yeah, it's even more expensive at FYE. But now there were people buying stuff. It's mainly young people. It's young people, and they don't mind paying those prices, whereas I do.
I think they have some neat, like, anime stuff, and, like, if you're into the anime and stuff like that,
I do
characters
too.
and stuff.
I do too.
But as far as food goes, I wouldn't buy food there if you could help it.
No. This girl she gets behind me and she gets right up on me, and then there's a truck next to me, so she got behind that truck thinking she was going to get around me, and the truck is staying right up with me. So now she's gotten back over behind me, and I know it's just killing her. But you know, if you're in that big of a hurry, then maybe you should have left earlier and not, you know.
I think some people just like to ride butts.
I think some people just like to go zoom. But anyway, all this to say that we went to the mall and all that is to tell you that a lot of you have said that your malls are dead. Your malls, nobody goes to the mall. Nobody shops at your malls anymore. Our mall over there is like thriving.
And it's always packed.
Yes, it is always packed. It's always hard to find a parking spot. The stores are doing very well there. It seems like it.
Seems to. I don't know how much people are actually buying, but they're at least walking around.
Yes, and so like it's back to school time where kids are getting clothes and stuff like that, and there was all kinds of people in this mall. So I mean, I just think it's interesting that some malls are. Now she's getting around. She's zipping around. Well, May the force be with you, because I would rather her be in front of me than behind me.
Yes, we're proud of you.
Yeah, so proud of you. But it's
she's getting over again.
She got back over. She got around all these cars and she got back over in front of us. I mean, really. But our mall is just thriving, and I think it's so interesting that in different places how malls are. I think it's interesting that in the UK, you will see stores for like stationery stores and paper and specialty papers and notebooks and journals and stuff like that. Stuff like that would not go over here. So it's interesting in certain places how certain things are popular like that. And in our area, the mall is still a nice place to go with very nice places to shop in there. And Ashley and I love going to Dillard's. We still really, really like going to Dillard's. But anyway, we're on our way home. It's getting ready to rain. Well, we're going to go to a couple more places, but it's getting ready to rain. Kevin said it's supposed to rain for like 40 minutes, but it's okay. I don't mind at all.
Hasn't started yet, though.
Huh?
Hasn't started yet.
No, but
it's supposed to.
I know, but I thought we were leaving the dark side, but we're kind of driving towards it. Yeah, we're kind of driving towards the dark side. But that hopefully you enjoyed a car video this week. Some weeks I'm trying to get Halloween stuff. Some weeks we'll be in the car answering questions. Sometimes we're at home answering questions. But this week it was just easier to talk while we were driving around. And so, like I've said, if you all have any questions, then feel free to leave them below. As always, we greatly appreciate anybody who watches the videos, and if you give us a thumbs up and subscribing. During our Review videos, I really don't ask. Like, some people at the end of every video, they'll say, please subscribe and like and all that stuff. I try not to do that because I don't want to get on people's nerves.
Sometimes it is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes it just becomes something they say and they don't even think about it anymore. They just say it.
Right, exactly. So I try not to do that. So during these videos is where I like to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then we greatly appreciate it. And those of you who are Patreon members and YouTube members, just if you don't know, I have been giving those people something extra every single day. I've given them either, I've posted pictures, I've posted videos, stuff like that. And so I've never promised anything. And honestly, I don't want to promise anything because
don't know how long you can keep it up.
I don't know how long I can keep it up. Right now, I'm able to keep it up. But yes, I don't know how long I'll be able to keep it up. And that's why I haven't promised anything. But for now, there's been a video going up every single day. And so I know that I believe the Patreon members and YouTube members are enjoying that. But if you've ever considered it, then which do you think is best, Kevin? Do you think it's best to be a Patreon member or a YouTube member?
I don't know. You just have to look. They both take fees out. I think we actually get more of the Patreon money than the YouTube money, because YouTube keeps like literally 25% of anything you pay. So, or 30% or 20, 25, 30, something like that. I don't remember. They keep some of that. So Patreon, I think, only keeps a very small percentage of it. Or donating directly to the channel with the donation link. If you just want to donate a one-time thing, that's the easiest way, because we actually get almost probably 95, 96.
Where is that link?
96% of it. You've
Is
got
that the
something
one
about
that's
donating below. It's like Streamlabs or something like that.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's a link below the video.
That's what I'm talking about.
But then some people have like there's some way that like right below the videos there's a symbol. There's a thanks. Then, that's it. It's a thanks.
YouTube keeps some of that money too. YouTube's gonna get their blood.
Okay.
That's for sure.
So if you click the donation link,
yeah, we get pretty much all of that.
Okay. I didn't know. I did not know how it worked at all.
Yeah. Anytime you go through YouTube, they keep a
they're going to keep
pretty
some.
Decent sized chunk of it.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, all that to say,
but you don't have to do that at all.
No,
we appreciate
absolutely
it
not.
When you do.
Yeah, I don't understand all the ins and outs of it, but yes, we greatly appreciate it when you do. Any money that we get, we try to put right back into the channel, and I think that shows every single Monday when we're doing hauls, because we buy a lot of stuff to review.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.